Mosky finally found the building he was looking for after hours of combing the mountains. Though it hadn't looked like a long distance on the map, the unexpectedly severe incline of the mountains and lack of landmarks turned his trip into a bona fide journey. Cross worn by time, the elements stood tall on the roof, indicating this building had once been a church. There were no signs anyone was living or squatting there, though, of course. Mosky didn't get the sense he'd find anything particularly worthwhile either. Though the church had fallen into disrepair, there were no indicators of trash or furniture littering the lawn. Mosky opened a rusty door to take a peek inside, carefully avoiding barbed wire and splinters all the while. A gust blew through the open doorway, kicking dust off the ground. Mosky covered his mouth and stepped inside to find more specks of dust in the air, illuminated by sunlight streaming in from stained glass windows on the wall. It appeared he was in a chapel. The room still gave off a hollowed atmosphere, even though most of it was barren as a desert. Mosky saw no footprints, meaning he'd likely been the place's first visitor ever since it had closed its doors. His mind then turned to the group suicide Toji had mentioned. In hindsight, he wished he'd asked for more details. A cursory look over the chapel revealed no traces of the event in question. Thus, it had likely taken place in a different spot altogether. This facility was supposedly an orphanage once upon a time, meaning there must have been rooms for the children in the vicinity. It was with that thought in mind that Mosky decided to proceed further inside. Mosky avoided treading on broken glass and linoleum as he entered the building that served as the orphanage. He braced himself for a gruesome sight, but ultimately only found an abandoned room within. It was so dark in there that despite the faint streams of daylight, that he wished he'd taken a flashlight along. Regardless, now that he'd come this far, he had to turn up something. Mosky opened the bureau that stood against the wall. There he found what appeared to be a dusty name tag in the top drawer. Mosky picked it up and wiped it clean. It had indeed been a name tag. The name on it was Naorikoroya. As an employee? Mosky recalled what the man himself had told him about New Year's. That was to say how he was with the Blessed Congregation to save children. And that wish stemmed from this place? The group suicide that occurred here left that permanent mark on his soul. Yeah, no, it would be on an employee. I'm clicking on every fucking drawer. Shit, I guess look at the bed. Rows of beds covered in dusty, discolored sheets lined the room. Mosky lifted them but found nothing beneath apart from wooden boards. Under the bed. Mosky investigated the dusty floor. Footprints were the only ones there, just as he'd suspected. Evidently no one else had come by in years. Apart from the dust, the floor's only other inhabitants were shards of glass and rat corpses under the beds. Nothing that would have served as a clue stuck out. The window. The window was caked in dust, making it impossible to see through. This place had clearly been abandoned for quite some time. The wall. Wall. This thing. The floor. The railing. Nothing unusual about the beds. The wall. The bureau again. The beds again. The floor again. The window again. I'm not seeing anything. I'll have to follow up on all this now. Mosky pocketed the name tag with that thought. The glance outside told him that it was still early enough to make it back to Shinjuku by night. However, he decided to search around a little longer, figuring he'd be better off visiting Naori tomorrow. Interesting. Called Toji after I returned to the office, requesting that she look into the financing company. She bitched and moaned about me burying her with even more work, but I was sure she could dig up something faster than me. I'll take care of Kyoko's favorite Moonworld tonight. Till then, I'll just finish off whatever business I've got left. Well, I suppose if I'm not going to Kichijoji, we know that Toji's gonna be busy with work. I guess we'll, fuck, we'll still go to Ueno. Go see my boy Takoyaki Man. Drop by Ueno. Taxis were lined up at the rotary in front of the station, blowing passenger after passenger from the ticket gates and devouring them whole like sirens of the myth. The bus spewed dense smoke from its hood as it passed by. Yet despite all that noxious air polluting the vicinity, the old man kept making his takoyaki undaunted. He hailed me despite my disinclination to buy anything from him. The old man stared right at me. He looked so threatening, though I was sure he wasn't trying to, that I was on tenterhooks. Hints of sorrow flashed through his eyes when I didn't entertain him with an answer. Damn it, he'd won. The old man started making takoyaki. That'll translate into a better flavor profile. Maybe no one knew what made good octopus anymore. Koji, yes! You weren't even who I was expecting to see, but fuck, even better.
Oh, Toji.
Point to the food stall. A plan I'd come up with approximately 5 seconds ago, mind you. Toji showed me a paper bag. Soaked in miso. Toji turned around. Moonrule's completely deserted. I went in using the key Kyoko had given me. The chime of the doorbell resounded through the dark cafe. I flipped the light switch on the wall. Not a creature stirred. There were no indications that the place had been disturbed either. Another oddity about this incident to add to the list. Kyoko had been attacked here. However, you'd never have guessed that from how clean the place looked. But for all I knew, she may have actually found it in herself to clean while waiting for the ambulance. The fact that the shop had been locked tight lent credence to that theory, too. Something else that confused me was how there had been a stabbing here, yet the cops weren't even looking into the matter. Did she not notify the police? That was certainly possible. Still, those speculations could wait, leaving that note came first. Retrieved a pen and paper, wrote temporarily closed due to extenuating circumstances on the latter, and stuck it to the front door. But while I'd taken care of Kyoko's request, my business here wasn't done, of course. Scrutinized the floor. Drops of blood littered the place here and there, though they were hard to make out against the russet floorboards. It seemed Kyoko had moved around quite a lot for someone who had been stabbed. The trail went from the door to the phone behind the counter. The last spot had the most blood, meaning she'd probably been stabbed there. Apparently, she tried to wipe it away, but marks from what appeared to be her sandals had been left in the process. It was almost like she'd been trying to erase the evidence of the wrong that had been done to her. So be it then. Maybe I'd be charged with destruction of evidence too, but I couldn't just leave the place like this. So I took off my coat, rolled up my sleeves, and brought out a bucket and an old rag from the back. I justified my actions to myself as such while I soaked the rag and started wiping away the stains. Fumi was draping herself across the table in her apartment, not a single light on. In her hand was a drinking glass. A bottle of sake had fallen to the floor. Though she never considered herself a heavyweight, no amount of drinking did anything but stoke her migraine and sobs. The crumpled letter on the table was drenched in alcohol and tears. Men from the organization had visited Fumi after she returned from the hospital that evening. No, damn, they did just straight up take her. Oh, poor Fumi, no. Sweetie, no. Why are all the good people getting fucked over? I mean, that is how these stories typically play out. I'm not stupid, but fuck. like, two characters I really genuinely gave a fuck about. Kyoko and Fuyumi, and I guess to some extent I do like Yukari as well. I'm glad she hasn't been fucked over yet. Well, directly, anyway. But in one fell swoop, Kyoko gets fucking shanked, and then Fuyumi gets a note from the fucking organization saying, "We took your daughter." God damn it. This is bullshit. They'd hand her a letter and a bag full of money. God. That's why fucking Yukiko went with it. She's like, oh, this money will help my mother out so much. I want to give back to my mother. This money will do it. But she was a real mother. No amount of money would have fucking mattered. God damn it. It was then they told her that Yukiko would never pass through these doors again. You may have known this day would come eventually. However, it was all far too sudden. It had been a week since New Year's. Since that day, she'd taken Yukiko to their HQ. Had that been the wrong move on her part? Fuyumi set down her glass and unfolded the balled-up letter. Words of gratitude decorated it. And at the end, there was a postscript asking her to accept the money as her reward. Stacks of the newly issued 5,000 yen bills released just 3 months prior sat on the table as well. There must have been hundreds of them, though Fuyumi couldn't bring herself to count. She swatted away the stacks of cash. Bills fluttered about the room like dead leaves. Fuyumi wept. I didn't raise her for this. Could this be retribution for abandoning my daughter? Ultimately, Fuyumi could do nothing but weep through the night. And motherfucker, Fuyumi's too good to deserve that. This is bullshit. Bullshit. Yukiko sat in the center of a room with wood flooring. The air was suffocating with the indescribable scent of incense. And yet, she simply remained in place like a statue, wearing a ceremonial overcoat. Though she could tell someone had entered the room, she paid them no heed. Oh. The voice of a frail man echoed around her. The man reverently took her hand. She felt no disgust. He then lifted that hand like a gentleman waiting on a lady. She could feel dried skin and wrinkles. Though her senses had been honed, she felt like she wasn't able to perceive those as sensations. Yukiko couldn't quite make out the man's face either. Oh, so you gave her a shitload of drugs. Yukiko had no idea what he even meant. Who is he? The man's voice faded. Yukiko was forced to nod without understanding what was even happening. Yukiko could hear voices praying. She stood idly in a corner of the room. Believers were lined before her. It seemed they were all offering up prayers, and to her at that. But no, they were, in fact, actually paying respect to their esteemed founder, who hovered behind her. After all, she didn't truly matter. She was simply a convenient little puppet. Nothing more, nothing less. Yukiko passed between the prostrating worshippers, sat before the assembly, and faced them. You just have to stay right there. That's what she'd been told. She didn't know why she was even needed. And yet, she relinquished all thought regardless. She was nothing but a golden idol that had abandoned all worldly desires, reason, and instincts. One who had nothing to fear as long as she stayed there. No worries would plague her mind ever again. For she had been pledged eternal peace along with this mass of believers. And thus began her life as the new Oracle of Revelations. Oh fuck. Game over. Okay. Well, But that means I still don't have access to my gallery, do I? Because I have to get the credits to roll. Motherfucker. So, I fucked up. Yeah, I got bad ending number 3, the Holy Prophet. Failing to visit Yukiko at least 3 times during Reiji's free time before January 9th. So I meant to spend time with Yukiko. And that's how I fucked up. And she became the Holy Prophet. And then we just don't know. We just don't know where things went from there. Yukiko became the Holy Prophet. It's like, what happened to the rest of everything going on? I don't know. Alright. Alright. So, I have to hit ending 8 and start a new playthrough just to even have a chance at a normal ending, another bad ending, or the true ending. Oh, and also, apparently, after you get ending number 8, there's extra H scenes for Yukiko, Ayumu, Nanako, and Megari. Interesting. Alright. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm really enjoying Kara no Shoujo 2. I think I'm gonna do something I don't typically do all that often, especially with a game like this. I want to see all the endings, even the bad ones. You know, I didn't do this for Cartagra. I didn't do this for Kara no Shoujo 1, or the Shell Part 1. But I'm really enjoying this one, and I just want to I want to see all these endings. Okay, so here's the main one. It includes save points, so I can branch off to other endings. Yeah, it even says right here, save here. Save here if you want to go to that ending. Save here for that ending. Save here for this ending. Save here for this ending. Save here for this ending. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna start it up again. We're gonna fucking start her up. And obviously I'll do what I usually do and skip to what the hell ever. Actually, you know what? What time is it? What time is it? It's been about 2.5 hours. You know what? I think I'll end it here for today. I'll end this recording session here. That way, the next recording session, I have all the time in the world to just plow through these endings, knock them out of the park. But genuinely, I am excited. I just want to see everything this game has to offer. Because that's the thing with the first card in the shoujo. A lot of it, like the extra endings and whatnot, were just so people could get their rocks off to other H scenes. Like all these bad endings, those all happen before you even get the chance to see H scenes. I have to get ending 8 in my first playthrough before I can even have a chance at getting the true end. Well, no, I need to get ending 8 just to get the normal ending. But I need to get ending 8 as well as ending number 2 to get the entire true ending. Wild. Wild. Yeah, no, there's... Oh boy, there's a lot to this game. Alright. Due to the mystery nature of this VN, it's strongly advised that you make your first playthrough without a walkthrough to avoid spoilers. You can do it, though. To avoid being locked into bad ending number 3, which is what I got, you have to make sure you visit Yukiko at least 3 times during your free time before 1-9. Where the fuck is Yukiko at? Where do I go to visit Yukiko? Kichijoji? Is that where I go? I go to Kichijoji? That's what it looks like. It looks like Kichijoji is the fucking place to actually interact with Yukiko. So I guess actually I fucked myself over by locking into Moonworld. And then when I didn't go to Moonworld, I went to Ueno. Well, like I said, that's gonna do it for this recording session. We'll, in the next one, can't guarantee we'll finish it, because like I said, there are, what, a grand total of 11 fucking endings? I have to hit ending 8 before I can get the last 3? Well, no, I have to get ending 8 to get ending 9. But I need ending 8 and ending number 2 to get 10 and 11. Which is the bad ending, the extra bad ending, and the true ending. Oh, good lord. Alright. That's enough. Like I said, I will wrap up this recording here. It'll either be a quick transition or a new video, but regardless, I'll see y'all in the next one. Till then, peace. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to some more of The Shell Part 2 Purgatorio. In the previous recording session, we reached a bad ending, ending number 3, as I believe it is. And, yeah, quite an unsatisfying ending. I mean, it was a bad ending, obviously. You wouldn't expect it to be satisfying. But, I don't know, it just felt so abrupt in the way it ended. But I do want to go through, I want to see all the endings this game has to offer. I really do. Because I've been so invested in the story thus far. I genuinely want to see all the places this story can lead. What I'm going to do first, and foremost, is I'm going to get ending number 8, which is the ending you need to unlock the true ending. So I'm going to do that first and foremost, but I do have a guide pulled up that shows me where I need to save in certain spots so that I can see the other endings without having to start 7 other playthroughs. And then also, yeah, like I said, I have a guide pulled up because, as we could tell last time, I didn't know the proper way. And that's the thing, I genuinely, without this guide, would not have known that the one thing I fucked up on was not spending time with Yukiko. I never would have figured that out. Genuinely, without this guide, I would have never come to the conclusion that, oh, maybe I should try to hang out with Yukiko more often. And it would have come down to the map locations, right? That's what it would have come down to. It's picking I'm pretty sure that's what it comes down to, is picking the right map locations. The problem with that is like there's so much trial and error involved in just picking map locations. It's not as much going back and reloading specific choices. It's making sure you're picking the right map locations when it's offered to you, which is, like I said, something I would definitely need a guide for. It was the same way with the first game as well. It's shit that would take me way too long to trial and error, and I'm not gonna waste my time like that. But yeah, I've pulled up the game. I've skipped ahead until something new has popped up. I don't know if this is going to be a longer scene that we haven't seen, or it's going to be a really short interaction, because sometimes that is the case. Sometimes they're just these very short interactions that just take like a couple minutes and you're just done. Sometimes they're a bit longer though, but it was the first thing, like the skip stopped on. Stopped skipping, so this is something new that I haven't seen. This is, as you can see up at the top left here, December 14th. This is after the flashback. This is after the second victim has been found. I don't think Masaki has been released from the hospital yet, so I don't think he's our little assistant yet. But yeah, that's about where we're at right now. So without further ado, let's just jump into it, shall we? I did skip one line of dialogue because, I don't know, I pressed the button. Kichijoji was dressed in the hues of sunset. The restaurants in the vicinity of the station were packed, probably because it was a Saturday. Having a drink before heading home actually sounds pretty good right about now. Off to Moonworld it is then. Started making my way there with that thought in mind. Just a few steps later, I saw a girl wearing an Oba Girls Academy uniform. Okay, but this is after our first meeting with the Yukiko. I will point that out. As I was skipping through, I saw the CG pop up. I'm like, oh, I know that's where they first met.
君は
Yeah.
この前の
先日はどうもありがとうございました。
The girl bowed to me.
気にしないでくれ。そうだ。君の名は？
茅原由紀子と言います。
茅原。
She shared the same surname with that woman I'd met at Moonworld recently. I see. So she's her.
何か？
いや、大したことじゃないさ。
The woman had seemed young to be a mother, but it all made sense if she'd adopted.
あなたは？
まあ、俺は時坂礼二だよ。
時坂。
Yukiko's face warped in surprise.
ゆかりと知り合いなのかい？
I took the lead, suspecting where this was going.
ええ、同じ部活動です。
ということは君も美術部か。
はい。まだ始めたばかりですけど。
Yukiko bashfully hung her head.
何を書けばいいのかもわからなくて。
Wow, that's a pretty bold
で
request.
きれば。
Maybe you could model for me, big strong man.
は？
Huh? That's a fair response. I definitely hadn't expected to hear that.
いえ、なんでもないんです。
Oh.
忘れてください。
Yukiko shook her head and waved her hands, her face red as the sky above.
まあ、こんなおじさん描いても面白くないだろう。
Frankly, I wasn't so gung-ho about modeling anyway, so it was a relief to hear her rescind the offer.
ゆかりに頼んだらどうだい？あいつならやってくれるだろうよ。
いえ、それは。
Yukiko hung her head and started anxiously mumbling.
俺から頼んでおいてあげようか。
いえ、それには及びませんから。
そうかい。
This girl was throwing me for one loop after another today.
ですから、
おあ。
すみません。失礼します。
Yukiko turned around and disappeared into the
あ
station.
の年頃はわからないな。
I think she's a special case. Though for Yukari too. Though honestly, she was in a completely different league from her peers. That is...
帰ろう。
The hell with the drink. Alright, so I think we're back to what we've already seen. Nice little moment, and I'll cut back to whenever something else pops up. Alright, so we're back again. That was actually a pretty short skip. It's the next day. We're at Ueno Station for some reason. I don't know. Told me to go here, so I'm here. Ueno Station was dyed with twilight. My mouth watered at the scrumptious aromas wafting from nearby restaurants. Most of the food stalls also appeared to be doing quite well for themselves. Like it's something for Yukari. However, the Oda and Yakitori stalls were crowded, meaning they probably have a long wait. Is there anywhere that's not so packed? Suddenly my eyes locked onto a corner of the station square. There was was a stall right there with no line at all. The only one in Ueno that could lay such a claim. Hell yeah. I stopped in my tracks and checked it out. Takoyaki man! It was a takoyaki stall. My gaze met that of the old man running the place. There was a glint in his eyes. He had the look of a man who cheated death time after time. It was little wonder everyone was steering clear of a guy like him. Hell, even I wanted to buy from anyone but him. Despite that, I couldn't take my eyes off the old man. I felt like the skewer in his hand would come darting right for me if I so much as looked away from him for a single moment. I approached him reluctantly. No, I didn't even begin to describe the spine-tingling chill I felt. The scent of savory sauce soared from his stall. However, enticing as it was, this old man didn't have so much as a single customer. This whole thing is fishy. Unfortunately, I couldn't turn back now. Now the stand was just a hop, skip, and a jump away. A nearby poster caught my eye. 10 takoyaki for 30 yen. Pretty decent price, all things considered. And again, it was also a sign of how prices had gone up, since it would have only been 10 yen for 10 takoyaki just half a decade or so ago.
親父、10個入りをもらおうか。
はいよ。
The old man started cooking with a guttural grunt. They furtively scanned the stall in the meantime. It was made from aged wood, not the classy kind. There were various shrine talismans and flyers posted on it. Amongst them was one that read Takashiro Detective Agency. Guy sure as hell didn't slack off when promoting his business, huh? The flyer itself was rather ancient. Furthermore, the handwriting clearly wasn't Takashiro's own. His wife must have made it, if I had to guess. The address and phone number were outdated as well. There'd be no detective waiting for anyone who tried visiting the place now.
なあ、おやさん。このチラシなんだが、俺の知り合いでね。もう嫁さんの実家に引っ込んでるはずだから。
They addressed the man cooking at the grill.
最近の若いやつよ。
The old man huffed and stopped what he was doing.
この薄汚れた世界でも一生懸命に働いてるやつだっているんだ。
No, that's not what this is about. Like, at all.
昼間にもおめえさんと同じようなことを言ってきたやつがいたさ。
The old man had suddenly become rather loquacious. So much so that I seriously worried he was going to spit all over the grill.
どうしてもというなら剥がしてやらんこともないが。
When had I ever insisted? Why exactly had this turned into a death threat? The scariest part of it all was that I wouldn't have put it past this old man to make good on those words, even though we just met.
いや、じゃあそのままでもいいよ。
It was like this guy had many customers to see the flyer. Probably, anyway.
それでいい。
The man nodded to himself and wrapped up an extra large portion of takoyaki.
毎度あり。
I left the station with the man's gloomy voice in my back. Hell yeah. Oh. That night. Something new?
たこ焼きですか。
Yukari's wondering why I brought home so much goddamn takoyaki, huh? I laid the takoyaki out on the table after dinner. There were 14 pieces in
ち
total.
ょっと冷えてはいるが、まあそう味も落ちてないだろう。
ええ。ではいただきます。
Picked one up with a toothpick myself. Looked fine from what I could tell. Plus, a man as old as that guy probably had decades of skill behind his craft. With that thought in mind, I popped the piece into my mouth.
普通ですね。
Yukari uttered words that probably would have been better left unsaid. I was in total agreement, though. It wasn't good or bad, just weird.
出来たてでしたら美味しいのでしょうけれど。
いや、多分それもない。
I had no proof, but of that, I was certain. That was great. Okay, so this is after Masaki gets hired on as the assistant, and he's sent on his little mission to go find Toji. They were supposed to choose between either the scary one-eyed silver lady or the takoyaki vendor. And the guide's telling me I should select the takoyaki vendor. I don't know, maybe we'll get a silly interaction out of it. Let's find out. Yes, there's no mistaking it. The old man is clearly no ordinary civilian. Masuki had to guess he was probably an information broker. Either that, or an assassin. Hell, he didn't even appear to be making any takoyaki at all. Rather, the old man was casting his murderous gaze around the area, really trying to fool others into thinking it was because he had no customers. In reality, though, he was probably keeping watch for someone to emerge from the station. The skewer clutched in his right hand was most likely his murder weapon of choice. That thought made Masuki start to question if even the sauces and seaweed at his stall were weapons. In all honesty, Masuki didn't want to get mixed up with that man. However, it was his duty to deliver the documents no matter what it took. Thus, Masuki subtly approached the stall, blending in with the crowd so the old man wouldn't notice him.
たくよ、どいつもこいつも
The old man grumbled while toying with the skewer.
嫌になるぜ。お偉いさんはいつだって下々のものを見ちゃいねえ。
Yeah, he said the word bullets, and Masuki's
使い
correct.
捨てなんだよ。
Bullets?
俺
Guns?
たちは
Masuki stopped. He had the sense life would be in danger if the old man spotted him now. But on the other hand, he also felt like he looked far too conspicuous if he tried to casually pass by the stall. In the end, he quickly came to a decision.
いらっしゃい。
He realized approaching the old man as a customer was the only way that would get him out of there alive.
親父さん、たこ焼きを頼むよ。
はいよ。
The old man replied in a gloomy voice and started making the takoyaki. He poured the batter onto the grill like a pro. Looks like he's good at what he does, at least. Masuki suddenly noticed a poster attached to the stall. Russian takoyaki, back and better than ever. What in the world is this? The poster depicted a Russian man shouting, Korosho, a peculiar illustration if there ever was one.
親父さん、このロシアン焼きってのは。
The old man stopped what he was doing.
俺には関係ねえよ。
But aren't you the one selling it? The old man ignored Masuki's reasonable questions and started going off on a tirade.
相変わらず本社の人間ってなバカ揃いだ。
Hold on, is this part of the test? Is he speaking in some sort of code? It seemed this old man really was Aoki.
ロシアン焼きか。どうしてもというなら、ジュージューと焼いてやっても構わないが。
I love all the contractions in that at the end of that sentence. But you wish you hadn't, you hear?
自分はただ青木さんに。
ああ、誰だそりゃ。
Huh?
誰だかわからねえが、俺は関係ねえ。
The man wrapped the takoyaki.
はいよ。
あ
Masuki paid what he owed.
毎度終わり。
He then left with a fresh takoyaki in hand. So it wasn't him. That must mean Toji Aoki is her. The creepy lady. How fucking dare you? She was scanning the area. God damn it. Fucking press the button. Like a falcon. Her left sleeve was flapping in the wind, meaning her arm was either in the coat itself or. Their eyes met. Okay, is this what we've seen before? Yes. Alright. Okay, so I know this one's gonna be new because it's telling me I have to go to the Girls Academy, which I never went to in my first playthrough. I never know about Girls Academy. Not that I expected to find Masuki there, though, seeing as how I'd never even shown him the place before.
兄さん
Hi. Yukari emerged from the gate.
どうかなさったのですか？
ああ、いや、
There's no way she would have seen Masuki since she'd been inside all this time. Plus, I didn't want to worry her, so I decided to keep quiet.
こんにちは。
Yukiko stood behind Yukari,
これ
bowing.
から帰るのか？
ええ、そのつもりですが。
そうか。今日は少し遅くなるかもしれないから。
わかりました。正木さんの分はどうしましょうか？
あいつは自分で何とかするだろうから。
That was all I could say for the time being.
わかりました。
Yukari
じ
nodded.
ゃあ俺は行くから。きちんと戸締まりは忘れるなよ。
ええ、お気をつけて。さよなら。
Okay, it's just a short little interaction. Because apparently we have to keep having these interactions with Yukiko. Just wouldn't be the same otherwise, I guess. Alright, Kichijoji time. Ichijoji Station was alive with shoppers. My mouth watered from all the juicy aromas in the air. I'll get some yakitori for the trip home. That thought slithered across my head when I suddenly saw Megari. Oh, Megari. Is this Masaki's? Oh, this is Masaki's perspective. The one time I don't check. When suddenly I saw Megari walking my way from the other side of the crowd.
先ほどはどうもご迷惑をおかけしました。
She bowed when she noticed me.
いえ、構いませんよ。
Oh,
探し人が見つかってよかったです
I
ね。
thought I was in. Wait. Okay, so he dropped off Masaki. I saw the name Masaki and I thought it was in Masaki's perspective. Okay, no, we are in Reiji's perspective. I figured, because as far as I know, we don't go to locations as Masaki. Pretty sure, anyway.
おかげさまで。
Jubilation sculpted Megari's features.
差し支えなければ、探していた理由などを聞かせてもらっても構いませんか。
それは。
Megari mumbled. It's hard to tell whether she actually did mind, didn't want to talk about it, or couldn't talk about it.
まあ、無理にお尋ねすることでもありませんが。
そうですか。
Wave of relief swept over Megari's visage.
吉祥寺へはお知り合いに会いに？
いえ、違います。
It was then that I noticed she was carrying shopping bags.
田舎ではこちらの流行り物もなかなか手に入りませんから。
そうでしたか。いつお帰りになるんですか
1週間ほど滞在して今週末には帰ります。
なるほど。それではお気をつけて。
はい、ご迷惑をおかけしました。
Okay, little interaction with Megari. Sure. Alright, so we're at this point, right? After, so this is after we expose what Ayato's identity is. This is after we see the flashback to where he killed Saya. This is when they finally make their trip out to Hitogata and they're staying out there. Reiji's staying at the inn. You know, Yu's been taken care of. He goes to take a bath the same time Yu does. Apparently, we're supposed... There's an option here if you want to collect all the CGs. Apparently, if you keep clicking on the towel, it will actually come off. In the guide, it says bath towel. No, keep on clicking until it's removed for the CG. Takes forever. So yeah, we have one good click on the face. One good click on the abdomen. And then the towel. Oh, there are multiple options. Are you deaf? Are you deaf, brain? No, so he goes, cut it out, Reggie. You can't remove that. Are you deaf, brain? No means no. What else can I fan her with, though? He's gonna take off her towel to fan her? If only there was someone around I could call for help. Oh my god. This is so dumb. I hope the game's like, oh yeah, no, we can reward you if you really want it, but you gotta really want it. This is so stupid. Maybe she's cooled down by now. Oh my god. You know, I'm gonna save real quick. Just before we see her fucking Jubilees all on display. If that is even what it comes to, who knows? Well, I don't know. The guide says the towel gets removed. No, what am I thinking? I can't call for help. She'd never live down the shame if others saw her like this. Besides, the fact that she still hasn't woken up means she could be in some serious danger. Still, I'm the only one present, so... This is just Reiji fighting his intrusive thoughts. Yeah, no, sure. When it's a girl that's of age, the same age as he is, oh, then it's like, oh no, I can't just reveal her like that. Guarantee if this was a high schooler, it'd be like, let's get that towel off you. I know you fucking work at Reiji, you nasty fuck. He doesn't care about the fact that she's unconscious and can't consent to it. No. He cares about the fact that she's 30. Fucking Leonardo DiCaprio over here. Come on. Clicky, clicky. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet, aren't I? I rolled her towel up ever so slightly. I rolled her towel up ever so slightly. Pulls the entire thing off. Oh, Reiji. Now, just to clarify, I had no dark intentions whatsoever. I was simply doing this to wake her up. That was all. Yeah, of course, Reiji. I believe you 100% wholeheartedly. Besides, the more skin out exposed to the cold, the faster she'd cool down. That much was certain. You stirred. I'm going to have to give her CPR, aren't I? Nope, hold up. Should I at least check her pulse first? Check her heartbeat either by touching her wrist or by pressing my ear against her. In this situation, it'd be best to be a gentleman and check her wrist before performing an exam proper. Gingerly press my fingers against her skin. I could feel her pulse through her flushed skin. She mumbled a name. That's enough screwing around. I'll just wake her like a normal person. Okay, so she doesn't come to and be like, oh my god, I'm naked. Ray just got a free peep show, just fucking ripped her towel off. Is like, I promise I have no dark intentions. Let me check her pulse. Yep, she's got a pulse. Anyway, we'll put this towel back on. Like, Reiji, come now, my man.